how would you acknowledge there's a creator?
You have knowledge of the creator.
No, how would you acknowledge that there was a creator before the message?
Before the message?
Yeah.
Well, for us as Muslims, we have like, the trusted news, or you can say like, the ikhbari side of it. We have the Quran, falls in that category, yeah?
Is this before the Quran?
So your question is what? How do we prove
how did
before
you,
the message?
Content over everything! He's the final messenger for everyone.
So now the whole world has to change
now
their
so that's the whole nations, whoever's got their messages prior, their tribal ones, from their particular tribe.
Those are no longer valid.
Whoever, it could have been like going back to the same Amazon brother that could have went and got his information from this and that, which doesn't make sense from an Islamic viewpoint. Now, that whole message that they've got, which they've been following by, some of their things could have been fine. But now, because Prophet Muhammad's come, that now we have to stop that now, and this is the message now. And that message,
you have to disprove the message then.
Say again?
The only way for you is to negate that message.
Getting on with life.
But they're getting on.
No.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if the message has not come to those people, it depends. Has the message come to these people in Amazon?
I don't know.
Has it been explained? Has it been shown? Have they been shown the evidences?
I don't know.
They
you know what?
have their own beliefs.
And then they can still make their own decision. They can still say. They can still say no.
They would still, but
they're happy with their own thing.
That's fine. But no, I mean, what's the answer? That's fair enough. They've made a choice. That's all you're gonna say. They've decided to stay with their religion or decided to stay in their.
But how can they stay if it hasn't come? How would you say they decided to stay?
Has the message come to them?
But we don't know.
Those are hypothetical questions.
When you turn up
When you turn up there and you see that they're not doing it. Yeah, when you turn up there and you see that they're not there, then you'll know, innit?
Exactly.
So.
It's hypothetical questions, man.
Huh?
It's a lot of hypothetical questions.
I don't know, it's interesting.
The Amazon one is a good example because we look at what happened with Christianity in South America. They had to basically commit genocide, kill people to get them on board.
And do you know?
So you can use that as an
another thing I would say. Do you know about the Panare Bible, the Panare version?
No.
Go and check out the Panare people and what happened there. The Panares, basically, the Panares were a group of people in South America, a tribe, that missionaries went over there, and because they couldn't get through their dialect to make them understand this Bible, what they said is they wrote the Bible called the Panare version, which is the Panare version of the Bible. And do you know what they wrote? In that Panare version, they put that the Panare people are the ones that killed God. They wrote it. They said Panare killed God. You guys are the one that did this. They took out loads of other main bits in the Bible and blamed it all on Panare. Go and check it. Go and check it. They killed Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
They killed Jesus. And you guys are the reason you guys are hated. So the Panare people was like, what? And this is how they converted.
Well, they made it up. They made us.
They forced them to follow it.
Because this is how missionaries was giving their
what's
text.
that got to do with Muhammad?
No.
That's just an example. We're just using it as an example of incoming religions on different cultures.
Yeah, that's always happened.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So it is very you can see that people do come and force their thing on them. Like, why do they need to write that and do that to those people?
Well, I can't answer from a Christian perspective. So.
No, I was just using it as an example of an incoming religion on a different culture.
Do you think we have the right to impose our system onto someone else?
What do you mean by impose?
Or to strongly encourage someone to follow our system?
Nah, you could obviously tell them why you believe it and why you think it's the best way of life. You can't force nobody, no. You can't force nobody. You can tell them why you think it's the best way for somebody to live in that. You can't impose that.
What do you think? But do you think it's incumbent upon you to actually try to convert people or call people to Islam? Is it part of your obligations?
Yes. Telling people about Islam,
If you feel like you got something good, you call people to it.
No doubt.
Like a nice meal. You call people, come share, come have some of this.
It's cold, man. The hot meal's needed lately, man. You get me?
And what happens if that person doesn't accept your message?
Well, what do you think happens? What's
Kick
your
them out,
narrative?
kick them out.
What's your narrative?
It depends.
I just want to know what's your
Depends
narrative.
if the message was clear and whatnot. It depends on certain factors, innit? The message was given to them clear and concise and understood, and they understood it and they rejected it for their own reasons. Then it's a bad place, man. That they'll go in it. It's a bad situation. I can't lie.
Are you talking about this life or the hereafter? What are you talking about?
For the hereafter, innit? Yeah.
Both. Well, the Christian narrative is if you're not with them, you're going to hell, isn't it? That's the narrative. We call you towards God. Whoever rejects God goes to hell. And now, if someone believes in God, then that believes there's heaven and there's hell.
And your narrative is, from your faith, is?
From my faith, is you present your case, you do your da'wah, whatever it is. If the guy doesn't accept it, that's it. The day of judgment, he's going to see his judgment from God. He's going to receive it from God.
But in your mind, he's going to hell, right?
you know what? In my mind, I could think a lot of things. I could think like someone might be like, I might want someone to go to hell, like, but I don't know his final, what he's gonna die upon. I don't have that knowledge, so I can't judge that person. But what we have that parent. If someone acts and he does certain things, like he doesn't pray, he doesn't fast, then we'll say like, okay, you know what? As far as we're concerned, you're not someone that worships the Creator. If you act upon this and you die upon this, you might go hellfire. But you never know what's in his heart. You don't know what's going to happen afterwards. He might give repentance before he dies or before whatever happens. So that's why, for me personally, I won't judge that person. I'm not going to say, you're going to hell. Definitely going to hell, because that's not something. Like Islam basically doesn't teach like, you go and say someone, you're definitely going to hell, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Can I ask one question? Because you mentioned one thing, which is another question just to throw out there, yeah? The praying and the fasting that you mentioned. The praying and the fasting that you mentioned, that you said from God. What is the benefits of praying and fasting? Like, why did God say that praying and fasting is part of something that you need to do to be able to get to Him? Because you said something about if they're not praying, fasting, and doing these things, then they're not seen in God's eyes.
In God's eyes, in our eyes. In our eyes.
So what does praying and fasting help?
This is worship, part of worship. The God, the Creator. Yeah. Now, from the Islamic narrative, the Creator has presented Himself to you, told you who He is, and you acknowledge that He's your Creator. Then He tells you there's worship. You have to worship Me. That worship entails certain things. The Creator will tell you what they are.
Okay.
Fasting, praying, everything. Now, what's the benefit? What's that? Like, you can go into scientific benefits and stuff are like, if you prostrate, if you do it, like there's a long list. Fasting, even now they're talking about how healthy it is, like to fast even on Mondays and Thursdays, which the Muslims do, like the fasting of the Prophet. Science side of things, we can talk about this all day, but from our point of view, the Creator told us, if you acknowledge that I'm your Creator, then you have to worship Me. Now that worship has to come from the Creator. He tells us this is how you worship Me.
Okay, so the fasting, so the Creator says that you need to fast and you need to pray and you need to do all these things, and this is seen as worship to Me, and he's gaining what? Respect from us, but from us doing this. He's not gaining anything from it. But he wants us to do it for us to gain something.
For the person's spiritual development.
For the person's spiritual development. Yeah. Okay, so then let's just say now, what if now someone that's doing these things, praying and fasting, yeah, and the praying and fasting that they're undertaking, now all people, everybody's doesn't have the same mindset. Yeah. Someone could be praying and fasting and doing this situation, but then by them doing this thing, which we say God says is showing worship, they could be doing the same thing and it's leading them a different path. Do you see what I'm saying? As in, they could start saying that because I prayed and fast, thoughts have come into my mind that makes me want to do some secular, demonic acts or things. Would you say that, okay, what would you then say now? Would you say that this prayer and fasting is the same thing that God put on these people, or is it from another?
Well, there's different ways to pray and fast.
Good deeds
There's
keep you
different
away
ways
from
to
sin.
pray and fast. Yeah. So depending on how you're praying and fasting determines the outcome.
Come on this side. So, let me come around this side.
It all depends on the intention.
Come on.
Depends what type of fasting, what types of prayer you're doing, isn't it, and who you're praying to.
But that's the thing, because they could be saying that they're praying to a Creator.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If there's a Creator, and obviously we know that the main thing that everybody's been taught is to have honor or respect for the one Creator. In wherever tribe or wherever they are. So this is what I'm trying to say. However, that Creator in their paradigm, remember, different food. This is why I was talking about the environment and where they are, because certain foods that they're not eating during their fasting might have an effect on their mind, on their psyche.
Possible.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that could deter them and make them think, hold on, and start coming on a different path and do this. And this is where new laws will now come and say, well, hold on, because you've now done this fasting, we now need to create a law because you've done this act. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why I need to understand what is the prayer, what is the way.
That doesn't happen often though, does it? That scenario where someone goes into their meditation and starts imposing laws on other people. It doesn't happen that much, does it?
No, but what I'm trying to say is someone's what did you say? No.
Ramadan.
Say again?
There's Ramadan.
No, what I mean is, like, even in Ramadan, most Muslims won't have a spiritual experience and then come and impose new laws on other Muslims. That won't happen normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now going back to that question, this is No, what was the question again? Say that again.
So
What would you just say? Just
you're
price that.
talking about prayer and fasting.
Yeah,
And I was
fasting.
saying there's different types of prayer and fasting.
Yeah.
And you were saying like some people, their prayer and fasting could lead like to demonic ends or something.
Yeah.
What question is this?
You were saying.
What question is that? That guy's trolling us.
See, as we said, prayer, fasting, this is part of worship.
Yeah.
Worship is only to Allah Azza wa Jal. According to us Muslims, you only worship Allah Azza wa Jal. So before you start doing the worship part, you have to acknowledge the Creator first, the knowledge of the Creator, and then you can worship that Creator. You can have, there's something like, the Islamic narrative is the worship is only for the Creator. It's nothing for, like, if someone worships, like, the devil or worships something else, then he's worshipping something else. But for us Muslims, we worship Allah Azza wa Jal. He told us, هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه. This is my straight way, then follow it. So fasting, like, everything that we do as Muslims as act of worship is something that we can find, evidence for it in the Quran and in the Sunnah.
That's fine.
And we follow it, and the worship has to be as well tied to what the Prophet has told us to do. So, actions, how to pray, how to fast, everything from the acts of worship has been made clear for us as Muslims. That's why we do it, and it has to be for the Creator. So we don't worship anything else. We don't worship the Prophet Muhammad. We don't worship anything we obey the Prophet, but we don't worship him.
Okay.
Because some people come with that and they say like, oh, you
Go on,
worship
man. I know
him.
you're waiting there.
No, I get what you're saying.
See? That's I've answered the second one. Ultra instinct, yeah.
Ultra instinct. I get what you're saying, but then it still goes back to this whole thing about the Creator and who the Creator is, because you said you have to acknowledge the Creator. Because I was going to ask, my next question is, how would you acknowledge the Creator? How would you know? Because you said you have to acknowledge that there is a Creator. How would you acknowledge there's a Creator?
You have knowledge of the Creator.
No, how would you acknowledge that there was a Creator before the message?
Before the message.
Yeah.
Well, for us as Muslims, we have the trusted news, or you can say the ikhbari side of it. We have the Quran, falls in that category, yeah?
Is this before the Quran?
So your
No,
question
correct.
is what? How do we prove God before the message?
Yeah, so how do you acknowledge that there is a Creator before the message?
Before the
or
message.
did you not have no knowledge of the Creator before you had the message?
No, there is. We can reach that logically. You can deduce this. Some people can come to that
how?
conclusion.
How do they do that?
By cause and effect as a
Observance.
One of the things that our scholars tells us, and something that you can understand, that the biggest way that you can come through to the Creator, the knowledge of the Creator, is through the knowledge of His creation.
Okay.
We look at
This
His
is good.
creation.
This is gonna lead into my next question. Go, Karen.
But that's the thing. So we look at the creation, and it might lead us towards the Creator.
Yeah.
But obviously, now that we have the Quran and everything, this is what the information that comes to us from the Creator.
Okay.
That's what we go by.
Okay, so if I got this right, so understanding or acknowledging that there is a Creator, the first step is to look at the signs basically around the creation.
That's before the message. Yeah.
So he was saying the first thing to do was to look at the signs, yeah, which is the creation. Now when you look in that creation, you now understand that there's a Creator, yeah. But then what's happened now is, because I know later on people say that the Creator, you believe that in Islam you believe that the Creator is one, innit?
Yes.
Okay, so how did now, from looking at the creation and the signs in creation, how did you now deduce that there was one Creator?
You mean like before the message?
Before the message, how did you know that there was one?
We believe this is within anyway. We believe already this thing is within. The studies that's been done about children, they already believe like some sort of creator or
that's
something.
not the question.
I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you.
I know what you're talking about,
To
but that's not the
uncover it, yeah?
question.
That's what you're talking about. There's two, the fitra, we believe, the natural disposition, we believe in God, yeah? We believe it could be uncovered in two different ways, yeah? Say, one way is like through investigation and knowledge, yeah? Through investigation and knowledge, it could be uncovered, yeah? So people, just like what you said, you can study, look at the environment, you get me? And many other things, investigation, many things. The other way it could be uncovered is from like a near-death experience.
That's not the question I asked.
Yeah, that is.
No, it's not.
Okay, what are you asking?
This is what I'm saying. The question I asked him is, from looking at the creation, how did he get the understanding that there was one Creator prior to the book?
That's
The
what
one.
I'm saying.
No, one.
That's what I'm saying. Because look, I told you that people already within believe this. Within.
Believe that there was one God.
One God.
How?
One Creator.
How?
Because that's a natural disposition. It makes sense and it's logical, and that's what people believe within. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm just telling you how people uncover that and come to that truth. That's what I'm trying to show you.
Because I want the brother to hear this as well, yeah. What was the answer? Was your answer the same answer that he gave?
No, this is the answer.
The one I said about how did you use the creation to understand that there was one creator?
Well, you can come to, as they say, like, this is now realms of philosophy, yeah? Now that side of things, you can get like, Muhammad Hijab comes like, where they talk about, you have to come to deduction, yeah? You start analyzing things and you start coming to, okay, cause and effect, this is all we see around us, cause and effect. So including the universe, cause and effect. Then it must, like the universe is a cause, something might have affected it. Now, where you come to the one, where you come to the one conclusion, philosophy, like, they're going to say, like, you go with the simplest answer, like, because you're going to say, okay, if that creator had the creator, and, like, infinite regress and all that stuff. Yeah, so they say instead of going like this for infinity, you just go with the simplest, saying, okay, there's one creator, and this is where it all started from.
Okay, but then the thing is, this is the question.
But this is again, I'm talking from the point of philosophy. But now, for us Muslims, we have the trusted news, which is the Quran, and that's the explains to us. Okay, I'm your creator.
So I want to go by what you said, because first year you said, obviously, the first thing is we're looking at the science to understand that there's a creator. Yeah. We look at the science, we look at nature. Now, when we look in nature, do we see one creator?
We see design. We don't see
one
conflict.
You see one creator though.
What, you see conflict
in nature.
One creation.
If more than one God, there will be conflict.
Hold on.
It'll be night for 5 days.
Hold on.
It'll be daytime.
No.
It'll be conflict.
The simple answer is, in nature, do you see one creator?
Yes.
Not see one creator.
Not see one creator. I'm saying see the effects of one
creator.
creator.
Hold on. No, wait. So I'm gonna ask what this brother said. Because this brother said no, he doesn't see that.
Okay.
Can I ask you why don't you see one? If you don't mind answering.
Animals create, and so do humans as well.
Okay, so then now hold on, wait, because this is very important. Because he said no, he said the animals.
You said look around. Look around at the universe, you meant, right? Look around at the world.
Hold on, bro. I know we're gonna get there.
Okay. Don't worry.
Because we don't want to argue. We want this to be good. This is good.
Same.
So remember we said we look at the science and creation.
Yeah.
Now nature, which God created, like the brother said, the animals, the created. Now
I don't disagree. Like
when you look, So when you even look at the animals for one, this is the question I always ask. The creator of a bird's nest is what? It's a bird. The creator of an anthill is what? The creator of a beaver dam is what? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to show you is, in nature, in all the things that you look at, there's multiple creators and they all exist fine. But the only thing that you would say is one is what? Amongst those creators. What's the only thing that they all share in common? Those creators.
Okay, question for you. Question for you.
What's the one thing that you would say is one? Huh? No. What's the one thing that these creators share?
They were created themselves.
No.
Wait.
They have the energy and that oneness to create.
No, they were created.
That's the only thing that you're going to say.
They have in common. They were all created.
One question.
Go.
He said the creator of a bird's nest is a bird.
Yeah.
One bird?
Many birds.
Many birds create one nest?
What do you mean?
How many, if a bird is creating a nest, or is making a nest, is it one bird?
It could be two birds. It could be one or two.
But have you, from what we know, we see, in the, you know about the
what?
Natural Geographic. Birds when they make nests and stuff.
It could be two birds.
There's sometimes, most of the time, it's one bird that's building a
Nah,
nest.
not really. Do you know why you can have two?
Sometimes.
Look, if you look
on the type.
Do you want me to tell you why? Because even if you look at the beaver dam, do you think it's just one beaver? It's not just one beaver. There could be one beaver that go. You have beavers. They work in unison. Even with the anthill, it's not just one ant. You see how many ants carrying together. You know what I mean? Working in unison.
I've seen that.
What about a snake? The snake's little hole. Who digs it?
What? Who digs a snake hole? Yeah, what could be one snake, but that's what I'm saying. But it varies.
We have certain animals that have one creator.
What I'm trying to say is
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can have one creator. Sometimes you can have one.
You get my point, though.
I get your point.
You get my point. But what I'm trying to say, my main point is this, though. Is when you look at the creation that we said that we have to do, it shows you that there's many creators. But people keep saying that there's this one creator.
Look, do you know why I said that? Shall I tell you why I said that?
Hold on, wait there. The reason now, if nature's showing us that there's multiple creators, and they seem to exist, fine, they do their thing, they create. And they move around. Why is it that we come to this conclusion that there's one? Because you would say that the universe is vast. There's many things here. Why is it that we come to the association that there's one creator that did this thing? Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Why can't they been a creator of the sun? Or a creator of a black hole? Or the creator of, you know what I mean? The creator of a black hole could be a black hole. I don't know. Why is it that we associate that there's a one? And why is it that we associate also that this oneness as the same one as we know? Like, this is one umbrella. I know what one is. How can I say that? How can I?
I hold it for him. Look, I don't deny that humans and animals create
No,
things.
hold on, before we get wait. So I was going to finish and I'll let you go, trust me. So, because I want to tackle this oneness.
Okay,
because
go on.
people keep saying that God is one, but I want to understand, how do we even understand this one? Because is our one the same as God's one? Because this is one umbrella. I know what one umbrella is. God's one, is it the same one that I understand? Because his one might not be the same one that I know. His one could be trillions, infinity. I don't know, because think about it. If we go by the Christian narrative and they say God created the world in 7 days, we know 7 days. Are we saying God created in 7 days? Is these 7 days the same as our 7 days? So this whole oneness that people keep talking about, this is why I need to understand.
All right. There's different jackets here, yeah?
Cool.
But each jacket is made by one company, right?
Each
Like
jacket,
a brand.
What do you mean?
Like a brand. Like, you know,
Each brand is made by different companies.
yeah, his brand is made by Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah? So Nike made that.
Okay.
Your jacket made by another company.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You know, in my mind, I can't multitask. But yeah, so what I'm saying, like, you know, there's different companies that created those different jackets,
Different
yeah?
companies,
Now, when you look at it, but at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's all jackets, correct?
That's
But
fine.
it's made by different companies.
Yeah,
Different creators.
that's fine.
Now, when we're talking about different things, yeah, you get now different companies that made
Oh, sorry.
jeans. You get
get
different companies that made jeans.
Okay.
So when you look at different things, they have different creators, yeah.
Okay.
But now when we look at the universe,
Yeah.
when we look at the universe, obviously we're talking about the observable universe, yeah. They can see, like, you know, that we have stars.
There's different things.
Like,
the
you
same
know,
again, yeah, there's
no,
loads of
but,
different things.
But you know what they also discovered? Like, you know, when they look at these stars, because of the light that's coming from it, they can actually analyze the light and find out what kind of materials. Like, you know, they've done this to the sun. They said, let's look at the sun and see what type of materials it has. And these guys, mashallah, like, you know, they're so clued up that they came and they analyzed the light and they found, like, this little, there's a program I was watching on BBC 4, and they're saying from the light they've analyzed it and they saw there's certain lines, there's certain dark lines within the light that I can't remember, there's the spectrum thing that they look at, and every line means a certain type of material. And then when they looked at it, they said this is the same materials that we find on Earth.
Okay.
And this is the same materials that is within us. Wow. And then they looked at now they're analyzing the stars that we see around us as well. Like, you know, they can go as further because they go on by analyzing the lights. Yeah, and then they can tell that this is the same materials that we have.
Okay, well,
so
this
now,
is good now.
So now,
We're
if we see the same materials
in everything, in everything.
well, we can say the material. I'm not gonna say everything because we didn't see everything. We don't see everything.
But you're getting along there. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere.
So
let me say it. Let me say it.
Oneness.
Yeah, chemitism is wrong. That's what.
Go ahead.
No, but basically,
Yeah.
So this I'm talking about science now, yeah. So they're saying this is the same materials that we are made of.
Oh.
Yeah. This is like, what is it? Nitrogen, hydrogen, like, you know, all the other materials that they came to that conclusion.
Okay.
So now we can see, like, you know, since there is these materials that some of the planets that we see and some of the stars that we see is made of, then they can say, like, okay, then we can make the conclusion that yes, maybe all of them came from the same source or same material. Like, you know, that's what they say.
Okay.
That's what they say according to science, that is.
Okay, so were you saying that they were saying that the stars, the things in the stars, the same things that was in these stars are the same things that was in us?
Like they looked at the sun. And they said this is the same materials, like they came to the
says
conclusion
this?
that
Kind of like we are the sun. It's a bit like
kind of like we are the sun.
Yeah.
Children of the sun.
Children of the sun. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
I know another philosophy that says something like that.
Yeah.
What philosophy says that?
You know.
Who says that?
You know, we can get into that, but yeah.
But
it's coming,
Made
innit?
made it the
Yeah,
teardrops of
Ra,
Ra.
Ra,
Yeah, we made from the teardrops of Ra. But
Okay.
carry on.
Sorry,
It's interesting.
Sorry, what?
Teardrops of Ra.
Made of the teardrops of Ra.
And Ra is the sun.
Ra is the sun. So it goes by what you're saying.
But wait, teardrops.
Teardrop, not
Not from the sun itself.
metaphorical.
not literal teardrop.
Oh, what? Metaphorical, literal. How do we know, man?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, what is literal? Like, you know, is it? So he's saying it's metaphorical. The teardrops of the
The
sun.
rays of the sun
The
are
rays of
akin
the sun,
to
like
teardrops.
teardrops, isn't it?
The rays of the
Teardrops
sun.
are not rays, man.
But how do they come to that
Come on,
conclusion?
man.
Sorry?
The
How
rays
are
of the
rays
sun.
teardrops?
Bro,
mate?
use
Come
your
on.
This is
open your
rhetoric
mind.
now.
bro.
This is
My mind's open, but I don't
Come on.
make sense.
Rhetoric.
The rays are like teardrops. You know, like rays, like a ray.
Yeah.
Streaming
Like in
eyes.
a kind of
how do-
poetic sense.
But who done the tafsir on this?
What do you mean?
Who done
Like,
that
no, no, no,
explanation?
no.
What?
You misunderstand. What he's saying is, in chemic knowledge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, say who?
No. Basically,
He's saying,
Our
how do you know it's
physical
metaphorical?
essence
Yeah.
comes
How
from
do you
the
know
sun.
that
The
they
sun.
never believe that the sun
Comes from the
actually
sun.
cries? How do you know they never believe that?
no. What we're doing. This is what I'm
How
saying.
do you know that?
No, listen.
You lot choose to
Say
make
it
it
again?
metaphorical because you don't understand it.
What do you mean?
That makes sense.
Because the sun doesn't cry.
You get what
Yeah,
I'm
but they
saying?
might have believed that.
You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
He understands what I'm saying, so I don't know why.
No, I'm saying, how do you know that they never believed it cried?
We're not
How
even
do you
trying to
know?
get into
point.
that. That's
That's
not
not
even
the
the
point.
point. The
Okay, I know
point
you don't
is
want to
going.
get to that.
No, what he's saying is the scientists analyze the sun.
Okay,
And
I get
All
you,
the
I get you.
materials in the sun are the
Yes.
same materials in a human being.
Beings.
Just so happens.
Yes.
You shouldn't
that
have
they-
said that then. Why is the sun crying now? Why you gotta bring that up?
No.
Yeah,
So he's bringing the Islamic teaching. So
Okay,
Gabz
cool,
is saying in his
No,
teaching.
no, no. That is, I
You didn't even bring up Islam. You said it's not in Islam.
Something
All right,
else.
science.
another one.
Okay, science.
Yeah.
So,
science,
does Islam mention that about the sun and human beings sharing
Not
the same
like that.
things?
Not like that.
No, all it says like they
They
say
don't
we
say
created
nothing
from
like
Earth.
So
Says
then-
we came like God
so-
created
Not
Adam.
like that. Not in
Okay.
those words.
Yeah.
Not in those
So hold on.
words.
So then the whole bit about the sun, which
All
you,
right. Are you sure?
oh, you coming there? So the bit you mentioned about the sun, this information that you
That's
see, do you
all
agree with
science.
that?
That's all science.
Well, that's what they say. I don't know. They said that apparently they analyzed the light and they came up to this conclusion, saying like these are the materials that could cause that light, and then they said like
And the Quran doesn't mention about the sun because it mentions about being created from the earth.
We don't
innit?
know. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
deny it or accept it.
the Quran talks about.
But is it only,
You
is it,
you have to understand, Gabz.
Yeah.
In Kemet, we have two creation stories.
Oh, yeah.
We have one from the sun
And one from the clay. We know this,
So
yeah.
certain people
Yeah.
are from the sun,
And certain people from
and
the clay.
certain people are from the clay.
Who's
Okay.
the side
What's the
people?
sun story? What's the sun
Who's
story?
Well, we
created
were
from
talking about the
the
teardrops.
The teardrops.
The teardrops of Ra. And the clay story is
Do they look
Qanun.
different, the people? Do they look
Wait,
being made molded on pots.
so you have
So is
two
that
different
different
types of
to
people.
Neth
Yes.
and Geb and all that?
And can you tell which one is created from the teardrops of the sun and which one is
So,
created
for example, where your story picks
Yeah,
up,
from the sun.
you got the jinn.
They're the children
Yeah.
of the sun.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
that's
been
right.
created
Because
from the
Ra's at the top of the
smokeless
family tree,
flame,
innit?
Yeah.
i.e. the sun is the
Okay.
smokeless fire.
Fire, yeah.
There
So
you
that's
go.
one story.
And
That's
then there is another
Yes.
story
you
where
go.
Adam, or the human beings, are created from the clay itself.
Yeah.
So that's where your
Yes.
story kind of picks it up.
Wait, sorry,
So
sorry.
you're
there.
saying
The
Islamic
first one.
jinn is like those are created from the teardrops of the sun.
I'm not even going to talk upon your stuff. I'm
But
just
that's what you're saying though.
I'm just going to say
Humans
to
were not
you.
created.
But you said the
I'm
jinn.
just
Humans
gonna
were
say to you.
created.
You mentioned the jinn though.
That's the
Oh,
smokeless
you're
fire.
talking about
The
jinn,
sun,
yes,
innit?
they're smokeless fire.
Where is it so?
And it's funny that you said that because you were talking about people that's created with the sun. There's people on this earth
Yeah.
that share the same thing.
That
the
have a
smokeless
soul.
fire.
But you
That
lost
have a
them with the
soul.
teardrops. You lost
wait,
them with
are
the
you saying
teardrops.
jinn?
I
Are you
don't
saying
think
He's
so.
talking about jinn.
Huh?
He's talking
Is
about
it
jinn.
jinn or
But then
soul?
that might
They're not
be.
human beings.
Well, according to him, that could be us then, isn't it?
No, but he said no. Jinns are not human beings. He's talking about jinns.
No,
Now smokeless fire.
He's saying there's two types of creation, from the teardrop of the sun, which is he says that it might be the
No,
jinn.
he says there's two
Yeah.
creation stories, right?
Two
Creation
creation
stories of
Yeah,
mankind,
creation
of human
stories.
beings. That's what he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
So
Yeah.
one is like you think it's the jinn, and the other.
No, I'm
No,
not
not saying
equating
that.
the two. I'm not equating
Alright.
the two.
So you're
I'm
saying there's some
simply saying to
humans
you-
created.
I'm simply saying to you, in
did
the
though, you
Egyptian
did equate
story,
them.
in the Kemetic story, there's two Huh? Oh yeah, sorry. There's two creation stories. Yeah, there is one of the sun, human beings being created, or certain beings being created from the sun, teardrops of Ra. Then there's a second creation story, the other account, where human beings are created from the clay, and that's from the Qanun story. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that it's quite remarkable that you lot actually share a similar story as well.
Very remarkable.
So you lot have the jinn being created from the smokeless fire.
Yeah, but it doesn't say from the sun.
Smokeless fire. Smokeless fire, yeah? And then the second is human beings being created from the clay, right?
No, I was talking about.
Yeah, 'cause you're talking
I was
about
talking
the
like
connection.
the like
You
the
was gonna
different.
add a bit more to it.
Yeah, like like they say like from the science point of view, like all these materials and everything that comes like where there's a similarity in materials, it might show like not different creators, it might be one creator.
Yeah, that's what I was
like that's the point I was getting at. Because
So
I'm
it
thinking
goes back
like
to one source, you're saying.
yeah.
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 No, obviously
So
he brought
instead
up.
of-
He was talking about
'cause
he
otherwise
stopped-
you'd see
he stopped, like,
different-
animals
Yeah.
create things and all this. We obviously we don't deny
because-
humans and animals create. I'm talking about
It makes sense.
who
though.
created the animals, who created the humans that created other things.
No,
I'm
but-
talking about the
but hold
ultimate
on,
creator.
Because
No,
because,
wait,
because
hold on.
I would think about it like this: if we have different gods, yeah, that created human beings,
Let's use creators.
or different creators, yeah, different
They're
creators
coming with some
that create
Greek
human
stuff,
beings.
man. Like
you find
God
someone
of the water,
with three
God of the
eyes
sky, and all this
and
stuff.
one ear.
Why do you think that?
Well, every god is gonna have his own design, isn't
No, but
it?
why would you
Kind of
think
like
that?
what angels
I
are,
don't.
isn't it?
I don't
Angels
think
are
so.
not God,
So
I
what,
don't
they're
think we do
all
that.
gonna have the same design, the same.
Not really, but
If you're gonna be human belonging to one god, and
But
he's
why
belonging
would you? But why would you think there will be? If there's many creators, why would you? And these creators obviously must have knowledge. like the ultimate. So why is there now going to be one that says, okay, let's create one with 3 eyes? Oh, but actually, if that's the case, but wait, but then that's the case. You do sometimes you do see that, because in our human existence, there are beings, human beings that are
Very
born.
rarely, so that means one of them is more superior. Because
Exactly.
it hardly ever happens.
No, you can't say
The normal definition that people give for God is all powerful, all knowing. These are just the standard. An atheist would agree, if I believed in God, he would be all powerful. There can't be more than one all powerful God. There can never be.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Even in the Quran narrative, it says like if there was more than one God or creator, لَعَلَى بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ. They would try and compete.
Exactly.
And they would try and do like trying to outdo each other.
Look at these Greek stories of God. Look how corruption it was, man.
Slow down, bro. Let me
Come on, go off of that, man.
Yes, but slow down. What I'm trying to say is,
kill each other.
going back to your point of what you were saying, about if there was many creators, there'd be certain things with 3 eyes, 2 eyes, and all this stuff.
I would assume.
But then even like you said, going back to the main point that I said about the creation, looking for the signs. When you look at creation, do you see other things with 3 eyes, 2 eyes, some with 1 eye? You do see that.
Are they humans?
8 eyes.
I'm talking about humans.
They all come from the one creator, though.
No, but different. The creation is
so
different.
that's going to show them there's different creators. If there's
it's different creation.
Bro,
Different
but
creation.
look, listen. This is what I'm saying. He's understanding. I think he's the only one that's understanding what I'm saying.
Nah, because he's a dude.
No.
What's the whole other creators thing, man?
Research
No.
sacred geometry, innit? And then you'll find out.
Research
Sacred geometry, and then you'll find out. innit?
sacred geometry. Where's that?
Talking about this. Look, it's simple.
Well, I'm just saying, innit?
If
Just
there's two
research the
different
thing,
things that
and then
are
you will
created,
find out,
don't
innit?
mean it. It does not
Wait,
necessitate
sacred
two different
geometry. Where's that
creators.
in?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
That's too high level. That's
No,
next
it's not nothing about high level. I just want to know where can you find this?
Science. That's a different
Different
science.
science.
It's in the cells.
Wait, is it a secret science then?
It's not a secret science.
Then what is it? What is it?
We're gonna have a whole different discussion.
That's another
Is
thing.
it Judaism? Is it
Well, that's what I'm saying. Religion is label, bro.
Alright, what is it? Is it maths? What is it? Philosophy?
It's geometry.
What is it?
Just has to
Geometry.
research it, bro, because I can't explain it to you. innit? You
what
just
is
got to
that?
research it. If you understand it, then that's another thing, innit?
Sacred geometry.
Sacred geometry, and then you'll find out.
I
innit?
look it up. No, because I'm thinking if I
Symbolic
don't know
drawings,
about
you
it.
can kind of call it.
Okay, at the end of the day,
Sounds cool.
look,
Symbolic drawings.
what you said,
Sounds cool. It's amazing, bro.
what you said, that you're trying to say.
Hold on.
Go on.
This is my point I'm trying to get so people understand. Because you was mentioning about the creator. You said if there was loads of different creators, then there would be human beings with 2 eyes,
No, you never
3
said
eyes,
that. That's
4
what you
eyes.
said.
No,
You said that.
I said as an example. Like I would
did
say.
say
Yeah. No, because what I said.
He said they will compete with each other.
Yeah.
The
The
gods
verse
will
of the
compete
Quran
with
it
each
says this.
Why are they going to compete with each other?
because they don't.
to be one.
They don't answer to not. They don't answer to
But
not.
then this is the problem though, because we're saying that there has to be one ultimate king. There has to be this and there has to be that. That's us as human because we're using the mindset now still. Listen, if I could, this needs to be the ultimate. But no.
What's the wording in the Quran?
They would try and compete or like supersede each other.
Yeah, try and be
like,
above each other.
Like, they're trying. لعلى بعضهم على بعض. على from علو. Like they're trying to go rise above. Like
And that could cause chaos.
Yeah.
Exactly. That would be chaos, and if that was to be, like exactly what
But
you're
you-
saying,
but
if
the
that
thing
was
is-
to be,
but
you
you
would
don't-
see chaos on
It's
that.
just like what
But
you
you
do
don't
see
say that.
with the great ancient Greek.
Because it will be chaos.
Because
The people that control
wanna do different things,
the God
innit?
that's controlling everything to happen.
You want to go east.
If they are
he wants to go
competing and
west.
fighting, all the
But
that's chaos.
That's what I
Why
want
are
to
we
say.
asserting
But that's
that
what I
they
want
are
to say.
fighting? Why are we
Yeah,
No,
I'm just saying
no,
what the Quran
no, I'm
says.
saying-
That's what the
That's
Quran
what they-
says.
that's what they-
That's what the
they
Quran
assert
says.
it.
I'm
It has to fit their dogma, but it has to fit that.
Logically, that's right as well.
What?
Logically,
What's right?
logically, if we have to mention the Quran, logically,
That what?
if there was more than one God, they would compete with each other.
Not one on one. We're talking about creating.
Creator.
But that's not the case because I just showed you that in nature there's many
No, but
creators.
that's not a good example at all.
How can that not be a good example?
Examples of many creatures in nature.
Like who creates a bird's nest? We get a
Just
beetle.
talking about little things.
But would you get a beetle creating a bird's nest?
No, this
Or a bird building a beaver's
Exactly, this is my
dam
point.
or something?
No, of course you don't.
So you can have a beaver
So
doing
there's
this.
loads of different creators. So what I'm trying to show you, if we use nature and it shows that there's many.
But hence the creation is one.
You're
Like
talking about
as human
creation
beings.
limited to one species. You're talking about a bird can only create a bird, isn't it? So you're talking about.
I'm talking about a bird creating a bird's nest. Because a bird's nest is not a bird, is it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is the bird has now created its own thing. Which is not it.
Yeah.
So, and you see an ant that creates an ant hill. An ant hill is not an ant.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to show you, there's many creators in the creation. In creation. So why do we assert that there's one?
But each
and
creating
my
their own
other
thing.
point didn't get answered because I said our one that we know one is. Are we saying that this one is what God is? the one.
They can only create
There has
what
to
they've
be a
been programmed
oneness
to
that
create.
pervades everything, doesn't it?
But this is the thing is when you're saying God is one,
Yeah.
what one are you talking about? Because his one is our one, is his one and our one the same?
It's a language, it's a word, it has a meaning.
Is it the same?
What do you mean?
Is our one and God's one the same?
Well,
What do you mean
yeah, what do you
our
mean?
one?
You lost
Yes,
me. You
what do
lost
you
me.
mean
You lost
our
me.
So our one
Yeah.
is this is this is one.
As a number,
yeah,
You
yeah.
understand
Okay,
this?
alright.
So if I show it to a child, they go, that's number one.
Yeah.
Now is God's one the same as this? Does he
God's
understand
one
it?
is not 4, 5, 6,
Well,
7,
when he
8.
says one,
God's
it means
one is
one,
one,
isn't
mate.
it?
That's
The
it.
same one.
What do you mean the same
The
one?
same as the one as we understand.
Yes, it's one.
So
One is
when
one, mate.
so in the Bible, in the Christian, when they say God created the world in 7 days,
It's a
is
Trinity
it 7 days?
What is it? 724
Is it
hours?
7 days? Yeah.
No, not 724.
So what 7
hours.
days is it then?
It's 7 stages. There's 6 days actually. The Bible
So is it
says.
actually
6
days?
days.
6 stages?
So stages. So these stages
It's
are
in
like
the
what?
translation.
Are they like day one? What do you mean by
They're like
stages?
6 stages. Creation happens in 6 stages.
We don't know how long they were, each stage.
So now this is what I'm understanding because I've heard this. I've heard where I've spoken to, I've had a conversation with Muslims and
You're
they
bringing
say
a biblical
they
narrative.
say that the things that we understand you can't compare it to God. But now all of a sudden
No.
the one
Yeah.
is
So
the
wait,
same
wait,
one
wait,
that.
wait,
How
wait,
can
It's
we
be the same one, isn't it?
Are you
Otherwise-
saying when
why would it be the same?
Otherwise,
God says one, he
what's the
means
point of
20?
him telling us he's
Exactly.
one?
Bro,
If
what
God
I'm
was
trying
telling
to
us
say
he's
is-
one and
He
it's
says one, he
five.
really mean
Come
one.
on, bro.
Why didn't he say 20?
All I'm saying
How
is
we
this-
understand it is one.
Hold on,
One is one.
listen to what I'm saying. If this is the all-powerful infinity,
So hold on, what's the claim?
No doubt about it.
never, no ending, no beginning, all this creator, yeah? Why is his one going to be the same as a creation
Sorry,
one?
that don't make no
Because
sense,
if he's
bro.
That doesn't
communicating with us,
remember, I remember.
Bruv, this is going
he
everywhere,
has-
man. Listen,
he
his
has
one is
no-
one,
that's
mate.
our source as well.
Yeah, but he has nothing there.
Yeah.
He has nothing there that he can look at and say, oh look, that's one over there.
What do you mean?
Outside in his outside
The
of our
creator
creation.
has nothing. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Outside.
Yeah.
Remember, we're inside creation.
Yeah.
Outside of creation, where God is there something that he could look at and say that's one?
Outside of creation. Well, outside of creation,
I'm
it's
not
just
gonna-
him, isn't it?
You see what I'm saying? So so what's
he's one, isn't it?
Exactly. So
just him
and
outside
how big is
Who else is
this
outside
about-
creation?
What do you mean by creation?
Like creation is something the creator made.
I don't. What did you say? Say again. What?
He's talking about outside the creation.
I said outside of
The only
creation.
thing outside
You
of
said-
creation is
no,
the
no,
creator.
Huh?
Nothing else is outside of the creation.
It's God's. When he says one, does he mean one in our sense?
They're distinct.
That's what I just said. This is
What's the example
this is
you
what we
gave?
just gave it. This is what I just gave. The example I just gave, which you said clear up.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Outside of creation, where God is there something you can look at and say, yeah, that's one?
Does he need that to say it's one?
Does he need what?
If he has all knowledge, does he need that? Does he need to have
This is
something
my
to say that's one?
so this is my point. So if you're saying if he has all knowledge and he knows everything,
Yeah.
this whole thing of one
Is
only
one.
exists when it comes into our paradigm.
Yeah.
No,
One.
no. But
So
he's
to him, how can his one be the same as our
God
one?
tells
It's
us
not
he's one.
one.
bruv.
How
Sorry.
he's
This is
one,
my
we don't
point.
know.
No, but God's
You-
speaking
you've
to
gone
us
on the
now,
hill,
so
man.
he's
So
gonna
we
use
know he's
our
not 2 or
language.
3 or
That's
4
no,
or 5
no,
hills.
that's not God speaking to us. That's man saying that God said that this is one.
No,
it's
no,
still,
so
it
what
still
is
has
your
to come
opinion?
through man.
So what are you saying? Are
It
you
still
saying
has
that
to
there's
come
many?
through man.
So what are you saying that there's many creators?
All I'm saying is, the one that we think that God is saying, the one that we understand in our human mind, is not the same one
What do you
that
think
we
it
can
is
assert.
then? What do you think?
Many.
How
can one be more than one?
What do you mean, like example of what?
Like, if you're going to disagree with what we're saying, then bring us what you're saying.
But the reason why the example that I gave that is like you said using the signs and creations. There's many. There's many creations. There's many things. There's not just one.
Would you say
There's
that's
not one
one, though?
Earth. How many Earths and planets are out there?
Would you
There's
say
not
all
one
the
star.
planets are
See how many planets and stars are out there?
Right, so your point is what? That there are many gods.
Wait.
I'm not even saying there's many gods. I'm saying there's many creators. Creators.
All right, of course. All right. So when
That's
you
what I'm
explain
saying.
that, we agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So where are you going with that?
Yeah.
though?
So all
You
I'm
just said that God is outside his creation, yeah?
all I'm saying
So
is.
how can he be part of his creation at the same time and you're comparing him to the creation?
No, let me ask you a question.
When
please.
you're saying there's many creators out here,
Yeah.
and you gave an example of animals,
Yeah.
then you said God is outside his creation.
No, going by. I said it. No, according to what you guys believe, God is outside of creation. I don't believe that.
You gave an example that if he's outside the creation, and how can he?
No, he's talking to us as
I'm talking
Muslims.
to you as Muslims. I don't believe that.
You don't
I know.
believe that.
He doesn't
God is
believe
in.
in Allah
God's
separate to
in.
the creation.
The creator, whoever the creator is in creation. That's why we see creation here. That's why we see creators. So it has to be here because that's why we have creators.
All right.
So it's not going to be.
You still doesn't make sense when you're saying that. How can God?
so you see the
how can
creators-
God be one? He said, how can he mean one when he says one?
No,
You lost me there.
That's what you're saying.
no.
His one could be probably a million. That's what you're saying. How do we know? It
Well,
could be 1,000.
Yeah, my point is his one and our one
Yeah.
in our physical is not going to be the same.
That's all speculation. That's all like.
That's not
you know what,
speculation.
You are. You're just.
That's not speculation because this is the all.
speculation.
This is yeah, but this is
pure
the all.
speculation.
How can it be? This is
Listen.
Okay, show me God's
If I
one.
told- if
Okay,
I told you
so
one.
hold on, wait. Show me God's one. Now,
Alright, so out,
show me God's one
So
outside
when
of
you go
creation.
back to the essence, go back to the nun, that's one, isn't
It
it?
says ahad.
What do you mean?
The nun is one.
No, but remember, the nun. What is it? What is the nun?
The nun is potential.
All right then.
Yeah.
So this is what we're getting. The
where's
potential
that?
what? Energy. Yes. So this
Yeah,
is what I
you can say
said.
that, yeah.
And what was
Where's
the
that?
question I
Where's
asked? Sorry. No, this
So
is in Kevin.
their understanding,
Yeah, the nun. But this is going back to what I was saying, yeah? Remember when I said to you, you got all these animals that create, but what's the one thing that I said had in common? Remember I said that?
They give birth.
The essence, the energy
Oh,
to
yeah,
do,
yeah,
to
yeah,
create.
the life force, the
The
chi.
force
Yeah, yeah.
is one. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you have, because the energy to be able to do something
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
what everybody has. If you want to create, if you want to move, that force is the one.
Yeah.
But the creators now is many.
But Islam separates the
Oh, I
creation
see.
from
But
the
the
creator.
force is one. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to show.
Alright, I see what you're saying.
So I'm saying
But
that the force.
Islamically, Islam separates the creation from the creator, so that doesn't
Islamic,
that
what?
doesn't follow.
No,
Islam-
but the way he's defining creation and the statement he's made is a correct statement.
Why is that?
Because he's defining like every bird and every animal, he's defining that as a creator as well as a creation. So based on that definition, we may disagree with that definition, but based on that definition, the statement that he made was correct.
And the force that they use though is the one.
So he's saying that the life force within all of those creations and therefore creators, that's
the one.
one.
That's the
But
one.
he's saying the
We'll take it
creators
higher
are
to the
many.
level.
And that one has come from somewhere because now they're acting on will, on some force
The
that they
energy.
all have, the energy. They're all acting. That's the only one. But the creators is many. Like,
Yeah, but when you take it to that level of creators,
Yeah.
you know, you said that earlier. If there was more than one creator, they will have conflict. They
No,
will not.
remember, we have a different definition of creator to the one he's just laid
What's
down.
your definition of creator?
Anything that
Anything that
creates,
creates something.
anything that can innovate. So he's saying that because a bird can create a nest, and that nest is not the bird, then the bird is a creator.
because the beetle can't make the birds,
Yeah.
can it?
So by that definition,
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that definition.
well, he's talking
That's
about
what, yeah,
that
I have to
definition.
because that's still going back to what we were saying about understanding the creator. Because by looking at the signs,
So where does it end?
that's the thing. What end? Beginning, there is no beginning or
So
end.
then for him to understand what we're saying, we would have to say to him that
Or where does it begin, shall I say?
Allah is the life force. He would understand
Goes
that.
back to
But
our
then,
source.
even if you say he's the force, but he's still got the label of the creator. So that's why the thing wouldn't end.
No, he
So
has the attribute of the creator.
Yeah, but then that
Yeah.
attribute of creator,
Yeah.
did that come at a particular time or was that always with him?
As you know, in the Nun, everything is possible. So
that's what I'm saying.
So it was possible for Allah to be the creator even before He created.
So did he create at a particular time? Or was he always created?
For our understanding,
Are you
you'd
going to
have
say the same
you'd have-
example? Like,
no, you'd have to say
can he
started.
love? Would
You have
that
to say
be-
started at some
if there's
point.
no one there to love? Is that the kind of example
No,
you're giving?
what I'm trying to say is, like we see creation everywhere. There's creation always happening. Every time. Like you said, where would it start, where would it end? I'm saying it wouldn't. It's always been. Because if we're going to say that the force is one,
No, but you
and
would
the
say creation is a manifestation from Nun. That's what you would say, isn't it?
say it again?
You would say that creation is a manifestation from Nun.
Yeah. But none
Yeah.
is always created.
No, Nun is just being.
Yeah, no. None is the energy, the potential
Yeah,
to
the
do it.
potential.
But what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is now,
And a creation is what comes out of the Nun.
yes. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say with this now, going back to what the brother was saying, if you're saying that one of the attributes of God is to create,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and this is an eternal being that has no beginning, no end,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Why do we assert that he only created at a particular time? Could it be possible that he was always created the same way in nature? We see there's many creations.
I mean, in the realm of
that's why.
possibility-
So it's answering your question. Then there is no beginning. Like you said, then where would they? You said where would it stop? It wouldn't then because there's always
There's
creation.
always a beginning of what? Creation.
No, there wouldn't be because there's always going to be
Because it's a
creation.
constant cycle.
It's a constant cycle.
No.
Like every day we see creation. Something new, something's happening.
There have to be a beginning of creation.
Why?
Because Islamically we believe that the creator
Because everything
Allah,
other
had to
than
be in the
everything other than Nun has a
Yes.
beginning.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Everything other than Nun has a beginning.
But then if Allah is the creator,
Well,
and
for your understanding, we would say Allah is Nun because Allah is the force with who's omnipresent, omniscient. And what's the other one? He's able to do everything,
Yeah,
basically.
but the thing is, the difference between Nun and Allah, do you remember? Allah, if I'm hearing what you're saying, Allah created that particular time. But Nun, the Nun, the creation is always, it's ongoing, it's not one.
Yeah, but Nun is
was there a time there was Nun
Nun is
without
just
no
being.
creation?
Nun is just being.
Okay,
Nun is just existing.
But then who created the stuff then? Who is the creator?
What stuff?
Then who's the, if it's Nun is just existing,
Yeah.
if you're saying Nun is just
Yeah, so
existing,
then Nun willed it to happen.
so Nun still created then?
Yeah, of course.
So what I'm trying to say is though, the difference between Nun and Allah is Allah...
There's no difference. There's no difference.
No, what I'm trying to say is Allah, going by what this guy's saying, Allah create, I'm saying did Allah just create at a certain point in time? Did he create at a certain time in his eternity, or was he eternally created?
Well, time itself is a creation, isn't it?
So in Allah's paradigm of whatever that time is,
Yeah.
was he eternally created in eternity? Because he's an eternal being that's always been there, no beginning, no end. Was he always creating, or was it a particular time in his infinity and whatever?
I mean, I don't know what the official Islamic answer is, but in my understanding, I would say that. I want to say I don't know to that. Actually, I want to say I don't know. I want to say I
That's the
don't.
point. That's what I wanted to get to. Because if that's the case,
Should I give the official Islamic answer?
oh,
No,
do you know?
I do, but I'll keep quiet.
Oh, what?
I'll keep that. I'll keep quiet.
Nah, you can't say that. You better say it.
Huh? Yeah. Trust me, my biker days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was you saying, sorry? What was it? Sorry, I apologize.
No, we're still talking about the whole creation.
Yeah.
And the oneness in it.
Yeah.
And I'm just showing that obviously in nature there's always creation going on.
Yeah, correct.
In this universe, outside this
Yeah, but
creation, things are
he was saying that none is constantly creating. My understanding was that none is just existing, and a creation is that which manifests from none.
yeah. Which would be
You agree with that?
the potential, which is always ongoing. It wouldn't be.
No, but none itself is not created. Well, before none made the first manifestation.
Yeah, Nun is
None
always
was
in,
just existing.
Yeah, Nun is always in flux.
Yeah.
But in terms of creation,
Yeah.
that's the principle of Atum or Ra.
Yeah.
That's that first point or first that now creates or differentiates itself.
But is it fair to say that none was always creating?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah,
I would say
so.
it's always in change. Always
Yeah,
in change.
yeah.
Creation,
It's always generating.
creation implies physicality.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say as
It's always changing from form to form.
yeah, it was always changing.
It's
Always
not
in
changing,
ways.
just like electricity, it's always buzzing,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily connected to something.
So it's always in vibration.
Yeah.
It's always in vibration. That's it. But where were we going? Where was we going?
That was it. Everybody started leaving, innit?
We say rap.
Huh? I feel it's a rap now still.
Where is? Don't tell me you.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen! COE! Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky YG. I just listen to COE!